Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. How's it going, y'all? It is good to see you. How is your day looking so far? And we've got Live from the Abyss, or Dath, Obliged, and Quimis all over on YouTube. We've got Court over here, Nim, Chibetta, Tigerman, Ninja Zero, Tom the Bard. Well, hi everybody. Welcome, welcome. Right, Dune 2 ads. I am so excited to see the second installment of Dune. This is my birthday month. We just hit my birthday month, so naturally, of course, seeing Dune 2 is going to be my birthday present to myself. This is just how it's gonna be. Dune was my entire personality, and in many ways still is. It is a Rosie. Hello, hello. Rosie makes brain go brr. Also, hi, Ninja Zero. You are a first-time chatter, apparently. Well, welcome, welcome. Right to happy birthday month. It's closer to the end of the month, but yeah, March is my birthday month, so that's going to be how I celebrate. It's your birthday today. No kidding, Obliged. Well, happy birthday from the House of Quartz community to you. It is really cool to see you here, and I hope you're having a good birthday. Dusk coming through with 5 gift subs, and I can't even begin to say thank you. Enough for that, for continuing to support my content. Thank you so very much, Dusk. You are the absolute best, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you. That is amazing. For those of you who may not be aware, there is now a new Rest Point POV that was posted to YouTube today. So for those of you who may have had a rough day going into the weekend, well, that might be something to look into just for a little moment of decompression. Zoomies would like a demon boop. Where did I put my... I'm sitting on him. I squished Beelzebub. You made burgers? Put some ground up Thai dragon peppers on them. Maced yourself and your mother. Had to open all the windows in the kitchen, so not doing that again. Wow. That's incredible. You got a new dog for your birthday? And a boop. There we go. We were in mid boop. There you are. Boop redeemed. Always happy. Aw, Dusk, you're the best. You really are. And you're most welcome, Tom. You're most welcome. Hi, Penguin. You brewed it with plutonium. So this morning I decided to pop into the House of Quartz Discord server to see what was up, and I dropped into a conversation about eating nuclear warheads, and bonks. Mini bonks were given all around. I will. Spit it out. Spit it out right now. Started following on Insta when you and Nick collabed. Thanks to the PV. Mom just got home from the hospital. It's been rough. I'm sorry to hear that. And Nick, speaking of Nick and I collabing, Nick is actually going to be up my way tomorrow. If all goes according to plan, weather permitting. It's supposed to snow. But Nick's partner has been a truck driver for a very long time, so they're not anticipating having any real issues getting up here from Calgary, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing Nick again. Yes, Court has been granted bonk powers in the Discord server, as they are one of the mods. So y'all better behave yourself. I tried saying the word behave and my whole body rejected it. There's a lot of calories in plutonium. Indeed there is. Holy shit. Do not ask me where that came from. I really couldn't tell you. But I hope you guys have had a good day today. At least for myself, it's a Friday. What is all this frogginess? Oh, and a gift sub to Tom the Bard. Thank you very much, Quinmas. Getting us closer to a hype train, I see. Fallout cereal. It's supposed to be shaped as nuclear bombs. That's a very interesting cereal. Maybe we could redirect the Discord server to this cereal. Aw, you got a kitty cat? Yeah, cats are known to do that. Gotta go. Well, thank you for popping in, Obliged. remember the thing I read about nuclear waste tasted. Why would nobody should know how nuclear waste tastes? When you're coughing, my Alexa wanted to remind you to drink some water. Thank you, Alexa. I have no idea where that came from. Guess maybe my throat's dry or something. Something along those lines. But yeah, it's about to be a very busy very busy couple of days for me. Kai, hello, welcome. And oh my gosh, yeah, so I'm going to be collabing with Nick for several days, and then after that I've got to catch up with hopefully a new bookkeeper to help me out with like the back end of being my own business. And then I also will be flying for some more stuff, work related stuff, possible checking out a special effects makeup course. Aw, thank you to Anonymous for that gift sub there. And that means we have a hype training coming. Yeah, you posted a picture of the kitty cat in the server. Very nice. We do have a place in the server where you guys can share pics of your pets if you would like. Pets or pets with a capital P. However, that's in a different part of the server. Have it set for when I cough because I don't drink water afterwards. Oh, that's smart. They made vodka from Chernobyl wheat and water. You know what? I feel like there's certain things we just, as a species, just because we can do, we shouldn't do. And Greg the Brain Demon, thank you so very much for the biddies. And Derigo as well. Thank you. Much appreciated. That means we're on a level 3 hype train already. My gosh, Derigo, hi. We got our mods in chat here. I'll do another hydrate for Nim. We'll return when done. Okay, Penguin. Sounds about right. According to Team Troma's Toxic Avenger, nuclear waste tastes like freedom. Sounds like a very American thing to say. And we'll also do a posture. Abyss got a haircut today. Oh, I see. That sounds very nice. Yeah, I had my hair cut a couple days ago, and it feels so good. We as humans always ask if we can, but never if we should. And we have a Ulu voice redeem, so we'll also do that as well. They're making a Toxic Avenger reboot starring Peter Dinklage. I have no idea what Toxic Avenger is whatsoever. I'm so very lost in this regard. What is even happening? Fun fact, the wolves of Chernobyl have evolved to be immune to most types of cancer. I would have thought they'd have died out of cancer, quite frankly. That is not the outcome I would have anticipated. I would have thought that everything in that area would literally just basically forever. That place is ground zero, and well, I guess good for the wolves. Good for them. Yeah. But yeah, I'll be super busy right into that part of the week, and then I'll be back out east in Ontario for a week. About a week out there. I just apparently can't stay away from Toronto. Transpup, hi. Hello. The fungus, I'm not surprised that fungus is fine. We don't understand fungus. And thank you for the biddies, Redragons. Pushing our hype train up just a little bit farther. 8 more points, and that would be a 69%. Little bit of like a challenge for y'all to reach there. It's an old 80s movie from a company called Troma, who are known for crude, low-budget movies. They're still going strong to this day. But Toxic Avengers, their golden goose, and that really put them on the map. YouTuber Demeat has a great bit on it. Whatever you're referring to here, I never would have come across. on my own. That's not something that would have ever crossed my timeline. Toxic Avenger is the flagship hero of a production company. Okay. So yeah, once again, Trauma. Low budget, highly campy, lots of garbage. Pale kids humor. So what is a garbage pale kid? Apparently it's not as bad as it was. There's tourists wandering through there with guides. In Chernobyl, I'm not even sure. I'm not even like, if I had the opportunity to visit Chernobyl, I think I would turn it down. I think there's certain parts of the planet I don't need to see. Wolves of Chernobyl would be a great band name, actually. Yes, the curls have returned. Giving Egyptian cat vibes. Like with the... get to talk about one of my hyperfixations, which is horror. I don't know. You guys, how many times do I have to tell you I was raised in a culture? I wasn't allowed most movies. I didn't really have access to a lot of this stuff. Also, there's our hype train success. Thank you guys for starting us off with a hype train today. As always, I super appreciate it. I know my energy is going to be a little bit low-key today. There's been a lot of emotional processing happening. A friend of mine, I spent yesterday with a friend going over a situation in which, like myself, was not a very great cash money situation in regards to their partner, and their partner putting their safety at risk. So that's always such lovely things. You gotta love when like the nice guy turns out to be crap all along. So yeah. Let's just say I'm very much not impressed with a certain person right now. And just very much hoping that my friend is able to get to a safe place and all of that. What are garbage pail kids? Sweet summer. What do you mean, sweet summer child? You're a child of the internet? I am not a child of the internet. I am a grown-ass adult of the internet. You guys, I wasn't here for any of it. I missed MySpace. I missed all this stuff. Like, I missed all of it. I only got here. I really only, like, really got into internet culture in 2020. It's basically a parody of Cabbage Patch Kids. Oh, I also wasn't allowed Cabbage Patch Kids. A lot of people thought those were demonic where I was. However, my parents didn't think, fortunately for me, it wasn't that the Cabbage Patch Kids were demonic. My parents thought they were ugly, and they refused to let us have them. Garbage Pail Kids was a parody of Cabbage Patch Kids, where all the kids were gross weirdos, I think. And they were trading cards in a movie. I could have, to be honest, because I knew nothing about Cabbage Patch Kids, I thought they already were that. I didn't know there was a worse version of Cabbage Patch Kids, considering how haunted and cursed Cabbage Patch Kids already looks. I didn't know you could get more cursed than that. But you learn new things every day. It's okay, I didn't know you. Just know which... Educate, don't gatekeep. No, that's fine. I also tell people, though, that, like, I probably won't catch up on this stuff. If I didn't see it back then, I probably won't go out of my way to find it, because I won't have the time or energy. Me and my friend John will watch fucked up movies while drinking wine. We watch John Waters films like Pink Flamingos and Female Trouble, featuring drag queen Divine. I've heard of... is Divine the one that RuPaul is always referring to on Drag Race? Garbage Pail Kids was a thing in the 1980s. Rosie. Yeah, Rosie is a 90s. I'm a 90s baby. And also thank you for the lurk, Chip. Do we need to call a guy? Maybe some nice Italian family. Listen. The only things we're doing are in Minecraft. But let me tell you, he's literally just a guy. Him with your car in Minecraft. Yeah, and no, he's been awful. He's been awful the entire time. and hit it pretty well. The cute Cabbage Patch Kids were born in the Cabbage Patch. Garbage Pail Kids ended up in the trash, and you can guess why they were there. I see. I see. I also don't know what the Feebles are. I love how you guys are trying to like clarify what this is by referencing other things in media that I wouldn't know, and I'm very lost. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids, and they look creepy to me? They did to me too. I remember the first time I saw a Cabbage Patch doll, and I remember making eye contact with it and being deeply unsettled. There is something, Cabbage Patch dolls are right up there with Furbies and Worms on a String. There's something about them. There's something about them that's off. It's uncanny valley, and if my parents had let me have a Cabbage Patch doll, I would not have played with it. I probably would have just been at odds with it. Awful. Who's got the bus keys? Yeah. So I was just I'm very upset. I expanded a lot of emotional energy yesterday. I'm a very laid back person at a baseline. It takes a lot to get me upset, and finding out that one of my friends is being treated a certain way, and I know from experience that when it comes to a certain type of guy in relationships, when you step away from them, they get weird. Like there's no rhyme or reason to their behavior. So that's kind of the stage that she's hitting right now, and the amount of bullshit he's pulling. So yesterday, oh hi, hello, Truth and Requiem, welcome. Every time you talk about people referencing media, I realize just how similar our childhoods were. Yeah, Court, you and I think we grew up in a very similar type of like cloistered cult bubble. Meet the Feebles was one of Peter Jackson's first movies. Basically, it's the Muppets if the Muppets were super fucked up. There's a fun song about the joys of... Oh, I see. And let's see. Live from the Abyss says, you should come check out the Haunted Clown Hotel. It is a museum of thousands of creepy clowns, and the hotel is next to a cemetery. That sounds delightful. That sounds like a great recommendation. Also, that sounds where I would meet my demise, honestly. Which I'm not opposed to. Little salty crab, aim and let the chaos reign. Yeah, it is really hard. And I think one of the hardest things is... because part of growing up is realizing and understanding that you don't have control over other people. You cannot forcibly control outcomes. I know for some people they cope with prayers, spell work, things like that, things that make them feel like they have control. But ultimately, if you're like in this example, you have a friend who's in an unsafe situation, and you can't necessarily save them, you can't force the courts to rule in their favor. Like you basically can show up, support, do your best, but at the end of the day, there are certain things you have to watch happen. So yeah, it's a note from me too. It's a note from me as well. Let's see. First non-Christian friend was after I became an adult. Yeah, same. Same. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Sorry, I was just making sure I didn't miss anybody. My goodness, the Haunted Clown Hotel. That sounds dreadful. Haunted. Okay, clowns. Nobody. No, I can handle haunted. I don't care if it's haunted. That's fine. Love the ears in the backdrop. Thank you. This has kind of been my classic. This has been my stream setup for a while now, actually. Right. No. Haunted? Sure. Clowns? Haunted clowns. Fuck that. We're not here for it. We absolutely are not here for it at all. No. Yeah, as I was saying, it's going to be a very busy week, and there's part of me that is incredibly frustrated by that, because during the week that I'm traveling and during the week that I'm doing collabs and stuff like that, as well as prepping for talks, like, because, yeah, I'm going to be behind, well, small businesses, proprietorships, which is what content creators are. We get till like June, I think it is. So all of that, but I have new cosplay pieces coming in, like special effects prosthetics, and they're coming in right as I'm like too busy to film any new cosplay content, and it's driving my brain nuts, because I do want to go travel, I do want to do the collabs and stuff, but when it comes to those cosplay projects, I get very into it and very hyper focused, and like brain wants to do that. So I'm like, grr, no, why do these two things have to coincide? Yeah. Oh, is that work? Well, it's cool to see you here in chat. Are you gonna become a dinosaur? Maybe. Bitch, I might be. Don't go overloading yourself. Listen, we've yeah, I can just hear all the rest of my chat being like, oh, you have no idea. Queen Buzzsaw Baby, hi. Thank you so very much for the subscription. That is so appreciated. Thank you, thank you. And yes, I've been working very hard at trying to be kind to myself, but unfortunately for me, my dumbass decided to start making unique content on multiple platforms. And oh, hi for some chatter. Hello, it's good to see you here. I went upstairs to the himbos, to my partner's little office area that he's got upstairs, and I literally just like sat on him and went like thump. I was like, why? Everything hurts. Why do dumbass or smartass? In this case, dumbass. I'm occasionally a smartass, but in this case, between all of the different platforms I have, I've been trying to make so much unique content that I always overestimate how much energy I actually have. And unfortunately, like, even if it's just cognitive energy, that energy runs out long before I want it to, and I get very frustrated with my own brain, where I'm like, but I want to punch this out. I want to make this, and my brain is like, 5 minutes, and I'm like, no, let's go. Also, apparently I gave myself a blister. That's lovely. Aw, it sucks. That hurts. I really like going for walks on our local, because we got lots of beautiful walking trail right outside, and I keep giving myself blisters. The content's so lovely. Aw, long-time lurker. Well, it's cool to see you. Do you have energy routines or regular routines? I have shambles of routines. I have things that mimic routines, but rarely ever manage to hold to them. Realistic capacities, like looking at a herd of animals and having to guess the exact number of animals in it. Yeah, indeed. Let's see. So a self-described incel was sentenced today to 6 years and 8 months in prison, followed by 5 years of post-prison supervision. Oh, based on a plot. Why is it always Ohio? What is with Ohio and the abnormal psychology just running rampant over there? But no, I hadn't heard anything about that. There's a thing for chronic illness or ADHD where you give options based on how many spoons you have. Yay. For those of you who may be newer to me and my content, I know a number of you are finding me from Instagram, And I haven't really posted this type of content over on Instagram. Instagram has become my like kinky meme place. That seems to be what the algorithm wants from me over there. But yeah, we have a lot of mental health stuff over like for these live streams, YouTube, things like that. Between 2020 to 2023, I did a lot. I did a lot of mental health based content. And as a result, somebody put a bunch of like my little sayings and put them on spoons. So I do. I actually have spoons. Old joke. I do. I have Aldous spoons. I have many spoons. At least in this capacity. Yeah, so a lot of these, you guys can use your channel points to redeem them. Like this one says progress is not linear. This one says function, not perfection. That sort of thing. It's just like little motivational things. I've been deep dive studying for like 6 years. And then just sort of spiraled. That sounds about right. Hey, Harley. Instagram's where all the really good stuff is. Oh, I would say there's good stuff across the board. I don't know. It's... when it comes... I'm actually not sure what's going to happen with my Insta content by the end of March. But it's really going to depend on how deep I go into the special effects stuff and how much time that's going to take up for me. We shall see. We shall see. But I've missed the cosplay characters. I've missed the stories. I do feel like when it comes to Brat Kitty, the Gotham Girlfriend characters and stuff, did those for a few years, kind of stepped back and took a break, and now I've definitely been feeling that I just want to do more, but with like maybe some new characters. Yeah, your worth is not your productivity tends to be a favorite with a lot of people. That's usually the go-to. The go-to one. Oh yes, I remember that. Oh, Megan just subscribed over on YouTube. That is lovely. I don't know if Megan is watching this right now, but thank you, Megan. Yeah, Tiny Tiny Gotham Girlfriend was an absolute favorite. Yeah, she was my flagship character for a very long time. And yeah, speaking of, I was told to tell you, Twitch, have a suggestion for a video for male to female gender affirmations. I mean, quite possibly. That could be a possible one. And I would have to give that one some thought because I'm not trans myself. I try to be like, I do try to be very like ethical in my content. So, if it would come down like for an affirmation of that sort of thing, like male to female, female to male, that sort of stuff, I would probably just want to know if that's something the trans community would even want someone who's not trans to do. Yeah, you quoted me to your therapist recently. Oh dear, what did you tell your therapist that I've said? So it's a great idea. It's definitely a possibility. I have a saying I stole from a planner. I collect other people's thoughts. Can't find my own. That says, it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to start. Yeah, and that's very much where the whole like it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be functional. Is to me. Oh, it's not disrespectful at all. It's more like I'm honored that it would be requested from me. Is more the thing. So no, I feel honored, and then I would also just want to check if that's something that, as somebody who's not trans myself, how appropriate that would be for me to do. But I'm definitely not offended or anything like that by the request. Just learned literally like 2 minutes ago, Joe Biden was apparently very concerned in the early months of his presidency that COVID was going to prevent teens from boning at their prom. I feel like there's bigger things to be concerned about. Very much baby trans. I have no idea what you're doing. Well, in the Discord server, we do have an area called Be Gay Do Crime that you are most welcome to utilize. I know I have a number of trans people in my community who I'm sure would be more than welcome to talk with you, chat with you, find some find some common ground, some advice, all that good stuff. And let's see, could we get some Venom voice affirmations? You could, maybe in the future. We'll see. We'll see. Is Velkin there? Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, in the server itself, there's a specific chat for LGBTQ plus stuff that you're welcome to use for that purpose. Didn't know if you'd already found it or not. And because when it comes to the Discord server, I can check in on some things once in a while, but I definitely don't know who exactly has specifically accessed what yet. There were a couple, but definitely your worth is not your productivity. Do something that makes your brain go brr. Yeah, do something that makes your brain go brr. We love one of those moments. We really do. But essentially, what I'm preparing to do, what I am going to be working on in the future is going to be some very, very heavy and in-depth cosplay content, and I'm super looking forward to it. I've been preparing for it for months and months now. Just troll with memes. Use Discord, join servers, and completely forget. Can't tell if it's social anxiety, PD, or what. You know what? That is valid. And when it comes to any of that stuff, like it's really just it's there. If you want to use it, want to interact. I am very lucky. My Discord community has, like, overall, I think we've had maybe just like a person here and there that's been an issue, but my mod team is absolutely amazing. Stuff gets shut down pretty quickly. And overall, I would say the House of Quartz Discord community is very friendly. They don't bite they won't bite without enthusiastic consent. I know a number of them will bite enthusiastically, but not in a mean way. The issue. You really are, Penguin. You actually are. You are a whole problem. A whole situation. Yeah. Server. Pass me on speed dial. Yeah, you and all your war crimes. But one of the next things that I need to do is for like a little mushroom fae. I've got to add some blacklight UV paint to her background. About to say Penguin's the only problem. Yeah, basically the server is absolutely fantastic except for Penguin. You get used to Penguin. Penguin's just now a feature. Yeah, we've tried. We can't fire Penguin. We just live with this now. Yeah, exactly. It's Geneva suggestions. And both Penguin and Canada take that literally. Apparently. But yeah, it was... Ooh, I wasn't expecting to be as low energy today, but... between yesterday with like the situation for my friend and her kid and her safety, that's very draining. And I don't know about you guys, but like I definitely do this thing where I could for hours have like fake conversations with somebody, like basically being like, if you were here, this is what I would say to you. And next thing you know is that like you realize you look absolutely demented because you've been pacing and like gesturing and being like, no, and then you're like, I promise I'm not talking to invisible people. I'm writing a script right now. This This is for reasons. But yeah, a lot. Oh my goodness, the way I spent a lot of time and energy mentally chewing this guy out, and it was very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. And then today, we do talk a lot about mental health on this channel, and especially like to help destigmatize it, and like within appropriate boundaries, basically just sharing to help normalize, let people know they're not alone if they're struggling with the spicy anxiety, things like that. I myself, PTSD up the wazoo. Definitely, that's been getting better. That's been getting better. But at least for myself, the mental health struggle has definitely been with, because I'm a content creator, right? And one of the big things that content creators are vulnerable to is, well, comparison to others, and just all of this stuff. Like if the algorithm drops your content for a while, then it can really mess with your sense of self-esteem. It can push you to produce more and more content that is healthy for you. And so that's very much where I've been this past week, is just a sense of woof. And regulating that, which I think I'm proud of myself. I think I'm proud of myself for, is that instead of rushing to change those uncomfortable feelings, like for example, like if the algorithm is no longer showing you as much, there's definitely that urge to overproduce to compensate for it. And I'm proud of myself for not doing that. I am proud of myself for not pushing myself too hard to make up for it, because that happens when you make content. And there's so many misleading TikToks out there being like, this is how you grow on TikTok, this is how you grow on Instagram, blah 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 blah. And you'll see, and they'll tell you, I grew my account 5,000 followers, and then if you look, they're usually between 30,000 to 60,000 followers. And I'm like, oh, wait for it. You're getting the positive reinforcement where that platform feeds you more and more followers, and then at some point they drop it, like the bottom, whatever, at some point, depending on how many people are on the platform, what time of year is it, whatever else, you will go like this, you'll plateau, and it will fuck with you. And it's one of the, I see so many people being like, do you want to be a content creator? Well, this is my advice. I grew so many followers. I'm like, oh, baby girl, you have no idea what's gonna happen to you in about 6 months. Because they don't know that like these platforms, they get you hooked, and then they try to get you hooked to a point where you're willing to pay, because every platform has a pay to promote feature. So most accounts, they'll hit a plateau at some point. Like they'll feed you followers, they'll feed you likes, they'll feed you views, and then they'll plateau it, and you'll be like, wait, give it back, and they'll be like, pay to promote. Yeah. Baby girl, make brain go burr. So stuck, like non-binary, pandemic, mental crap. Oh yes, all the things people long distance feel safe with, mentally petrified in the same space, just do a full freeze. That's tough. That is very tough. Also, yes, Penguin does know the best war crimes for Minecraft and outside of Minecraft. Speaking of war crimes, you might have an idea. Oh, do you now? This ought to be good. This ought to be great. What kind of war crimes? What kind of war crimes do you have in mind? Yeah. I've noticed I did a couple of like honorific based vids for Instagram, and I think caused some panic for a number of people, which is always the best. That's always the best. Should be proud of that. Thank you. Thank you. Doing my best. I'm doing my best out here. We're working hard. War crime was gonna be the Dami voice redeem, and you were gonna put you're just like, let's weaponize the mommy Dami voice. Yeah, social media is kind of like a little bit of like a drug dealer, where they give you that like initial taste to get you hooked, especially after the pandemic has passed, because it was super easy to grow during the pandemic. Everybody was on TikTok back then. However, at this point, you literally do have to pay the platform itself for followers, so yeah. You unprivated your profile, got flooded with all the requests. I mean, that could count as a war crime, I think. Tommy voice was the best? No. Oh yeah. I used to be an absolute menace on TikTok before they started really, I don't know, just they got puritanical, and I don't even know if kink talk is still a thing. I haven't seen any kink talk content aside from Mr. Pierre Fashion. Yeah, used to be. Yeah, it used to be. Listen, I was so much worse. I recently put my second account on private because I just don't have the energy to post to it and maintain it right now. But I used to do a lot of be good for me type of POV content. That was good times, and I stopped doing it because every time I did, I would be so anxious that that content would get me banned, and it kind of just sucks the fun out of it and the enjoyment out of it when you're constantly worried that you're going to get yeeted. Oh damn. Well, thank you for lurking. I'm sorry to hear you're going through such a stressful situation. She hath no name. The Dami voice is for special occasions. Says who? Says who? I can Dami mommy anytime I want to. What are you gonna do? Stop me? Yeah, it's rough. Psychologically, it was very rough to try to create content along those lines. I know a lot of people really liked it. I liked making it, but the platform itself was... Oh, don't go there. Why shouldn't I? What are you gonna do about it? I don't think there's anything you could do. And quite frankly, I know my audience well enough to know that most of you, probably Penguin aside, would immediately fall to pieces as soon as I say, are you actually going to be a brat, or are you going to be good for me? Yeah, TikTok got puritanical due to the US Congress, and another thing stressing me out right now is that it looks like KOSA, the Kids Online Safety Act, Kids Safety Act, might actually go through, which would be most unfortunate for literally everybody. It's essentially a mass censorship bill being disguised as child protective things. How about a bet? Put the weird stuff in chat. You try to do the Dom voice in it, and if you break, I win. Depends on weird. Depends on what kind of weird. Because remember, you do need to keep it Twitch/YouTube compliant. So keep that in mind. If KOSA goes through, how much of YouTube would they have to delete? Well, here's the thing. Not just YouTube. Anything spicy. Book Talk is about to lose all their smut. And all of the people who are into writing and reading fan fiction, you're about to get like mass wipe. Yeah. The Tommy Mommy voice at your discretion. Yeah, so if KOSA goes through, we'll essentially have to submit our ID to the platforms to verify that we're over the age of 18. If Trump gets elected president again, part of his campaign is that he wants to ban all spicy content on the internet. And if people are like, well, that's a violation of free speech, you are correct, and they don't care. Like, we're hitting the point where the First Amendment, like the amendments, they don't care anymore. At some point, they're just going to walk right over it. Like, they've been getting closer and closer and closer to just stepping on it and being like, whatever, what you gonna do about it? And I think we're just about there. Yeah, no, I've literally debated making a TikTok where I'm like, hey, Book Talk, they're coming for your smut. Could you please maybe vote? Talk to your reps. If you want to keep your smut, if you want to keep your fanfic, please. KOSA? Yeah, KOSA's an American bill, and it's KOSA. Yeah, it's very similar. They tried to do net neutrality and it didn't work, so this is their next attempt at that. So yeah, it's nothing to do with the kids. No, it's very much about, essentially they're trying, in their words, protect children from obscene content. And obscene is a very, very broad term, and unfortunately, people who are poly, kinky, LGBTQ+, drag queens, political dissidents, minorities. Yeah. So imagine what would happen if you've submitted your ID that has your home address on it in order to access the internet. You try advocating for yourself. Maybe you criticize somebody in a position of political power, and the next thing you know, the government has yoinked you directly from your home because you put your ID in there, and your ID is now attached to everything you do online. Yeah. So I've been stressed. I have been very, very stressed because this would very much impact me and my life based on like what I do to survive. Oh yeah, technically the Bible has a lot of smut in it. The Bible is a very sexual piece of literature. Yes. Obscene, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder, and the question becomes, who is the beholder who gets to define what is and is not obscene? So I would love to start our own intro. I really would. I really would. However, and I would love if they would actually make the parents liable. All of the tools to keep your kids safe on the internet have existed for over 10 years now. However, they keep being like, children see things on the internet, and we're like, stop trying to baby-proof the internet. And then we realize that it's not actually about protecting the kids, it's about online censorship and preventing certain things. So what little information we're getting from, let's say, Gaza right now would be cut even more in half if something like KOSA goes through. Like, we already have so much misinformation happening. So if you have a government controlling the internet to that degree, we're looking at something very, very, very scary. And I don't mean to, like, stress you guys out. This has been a chronic stress for me for months now. Like, we've been seeing it coming. We already... FOSTA SESTA went into place. We kicked up a fuss about FOSTA SESTA. We told everybody what the consequences would be. They put it through. We experienced the consequences. We're still experiencing the consequences because that legislation's still up. And now they're like, let's go for KOSA. And we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So there was, in like some of the initial trial stuff about this, they had... Apparently there was a kid who was bullied over Facebook and committed a Schleuerschleid. And they basically brought in the heads of Facebook and they were like, why aren't you responsible for this? Because the bullies used your platform to message the victim. I'm like, what the it's already against their policy to bully. How are they realistically, how are you supposed to control that? And it's just this over-dramatic overreach of power in order to try to make that conclusion. And it's like, actually, no, it's the parents of the bullies who are responsible. That's who's responsible. That's who should have been monitoring that activity. It's not the rest of us. That's not our problem. And yeah, and kids are still going to do shit, and honestly, like, to some degree, it's not the end of the world. Like, we all saw Tibbies on what was it, Tumblr back in the day. Our brains didn't melt. We were fine. The person being bullied was supposed to contact Facebook and report their actions in order to ban them. Oh, and the parents, yeah, even the parents of the kid who was being bullied were not checking in. Like, you can see, if you set up the device correctly, you can see what your kid is messaging. You can see who they're talking to and what is being said back and forth, which means the parents of that victim were not doing their job and watching what their kid was being sent, because if they had, they would have seen their kid was being bullied and could have reported that to the moderators at Facebook, could have reported it to the police, could have reported it to literally everybody. And instead they're like, no, this is Facebook's fault. I'm like, what the fuck? How did you get here? Do you need a chiropractor for that stretch that you just made? Yeah. And, oh, I've actually been seeing some stuff about kids in the internet where a lot of kids actually apparently don't really know how to Google properly. Like, there's actually a surprising amount of computer illiteracy with Gen Alpha. Yeah, no. The whole thing with like protecting kids online is just, it's absolutely ridiculous. If you really want to protect kids from seeing, like, let's say spicy content, most of those platforms have registered with different apps that you can just mass block on a device. So let's say Cornhub, for example. You don't want your kid finding Cornhub, then you block it on that device. And you can lock a device down pretty securely. High schools already have whatever else on their internet, they're firewalled, so you can't see certain things. And of course, what little kids do get their hands on, like, kids are always going to get their hands on something. It's worth stating the polls that news organizations use are extremely inaccurate. It's based on likely voters, which doesn't include young people at all, nor it's based on phone surveys, prediction polls. Okay, I'm confused what the context is for polls for this. If the parents had a better relationship with their kid, they would have felt comfortable talking to the parents about the bully. Yeah, and that's also a thing, is that you're just like, why weren't the parents of the victim in that circumstances aware of what was going on with their kid? The weirdness is weirdening. Indeed. I love corn. It has the juice. It has the juice. Oh, you haven't missed much. Oh, if you're worried about Trump's chances of winning based on polls, I don't know. Honestly, I can't even believe that he's made it this far. And the thing is that, like, we already said he wouldn't win the first time, and now I'm just like, you know what? I'm just at this point expecting him to win, just so that I don't have any kind of a shock when it happens. Now college student broke the school security as junior year of high school. You're just looking at car school. Oh, okay, is with you? Think you can push a button from home and make him stop? Oh yeah, no, kids will do stuff like that, and the response isn't to lock down the internet for everybody. The thing to do is have a conversation with them about it, about having healthy corn consumption habits as you grow into adulthood, and also being like, hey, you got caught consuming this content. That's going to be normal. However, don't get, if they're in college, If they're in broke the schools, oh, they're now, yeah, if they're in high school, you gotta be like, hey kiddo, you're going to get caught seeing this. How about don't? Like you need to, this isn't a bad thing to look at. It's just your brain's not ready for, like, having that conversation, right? Of being like, hey, you're going to grow into this, but now's not the time. And like not shaming them, but like educating them. Time and place, yo, right? I really, the way that Trump is pushing for I can't be charged for anything, the president shouldn't be held liable for anything, and now we're looking at the Supreme Court possibly giving that to him because he's the one who put them in a position of power. We might be literally looking at him being pardoned across the board and then back in the presidency. And I really wish that Biden wasn't running again. Like, that he's so old. Like, sir, you should be dead. You should be golfing. I don't know. You should be golfing while dead. Step the fuck down. You're like, what? We need somebody who maybe has a pulse to like actually ramp this up. Like, why is he still in charge? Why didn't he do like a term of 4 years? He is so old. Like, stop. In space. No, at this point, it's literally shoot him into space. He's neither one of them. We really do need an age cap for the government at this point. Didn't understand corn. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to say things like corn for guideline reasons. Human beings were never designed to live for so long. Yep. Yeah. The struggle bus continues. The struggle bus continues for all of us. And honestly, part of the reason that I'm also super stressed about KOSA is that it's already hard enough to talk about education in regards to sex and consumption of erotic content. There's so much misinformation out there that claims that pornography is inherently addictive, inherently harmful, and it's all Christian evangelical funded crap. And it's already so hard to combat that bullshit that has so much money behind it. And if something like KOSA goes through, like, we already face being deplatformed. Every time, like on Insta or TikTok, if I talk about it and I combat that misinformation, I'm the one at risk of being banned. And so if KOSA goes through, it's gonna make it even fucking worse. Yet what about corn? It has the juice. I know, McConnell stepped down, finally, 20 years too late. And honestly, I really wish we could just do a full wipe of all the politicians. That phrase, politicians are like diapers full of shit and need changing often. Also, Mitch, I don't care how he stepped down, if he stepped down voluntarily, if he was forced, I don't care, as long as he's fucking out, as long as he's gone. What a piece of... Yeah, they definitely... They have to a certain degree done it on purpose, and now, like, Alabama pulled that stupid shit. I'm living for all of the sarcastic content of people being like, me with my baby in Alabama, and it's just like a plastic lid. As if they had like an embryo in a petri dish, and they're like out shopping with it and like putting in their like car seats and stuff. And you'll still see idiots in the comment section like, life begins at conception, cry about it. I'm like, no, it doesn't. And even if it does, if life begins at conception, so fucking what? So what? Who cares? Who gives a shit? Life isn't... The life of a couple of cells, like, multiplying until they eventually become a human isn't that important. It's not that vital to anything. Like, why are you putting your full bussy into preserving the life of a clump of cells that your body will naturally excrete on its own most of the time? the human body doesn't care about it. You could have a fertilized egg. You do the wham bam thank you ma'am. Like, let's say like I literally get pregnant, and except I don't get pregnant. It just sperm meets egg, and then it doesn't implant to the uterine lining, and the body just flushes your brand new little life form. Just gone. Just out. It's not a tragedy. That's not a loss of, like, there were people in the comment section. There were people in these comment sections being like, that's a tragedy. No, you don't understand. When your body just flushes it, that's still just a tragedy. Why are you crying about it? Don't you have a casserole to bake? Don't you have don't you have something better to do with your life? Go mow your lawn or something. Why are you crying about the body just ejecting a sperm and egg? Why do you care so much? Don't you have something better to spend your energy on? It's not a tragedy. Exactly, not every ejaculation deserves a name. I can't even afford a fucking lawn, let alone a house. No shit. No shit. Wait, Vector, he stepped down as majority leader. There's 3 more years of actively watching him have seizures in public sight. Unbelievable. That man is going to die behind a podium. They really just let him go. Let him die. Let him die. No one wants McConnell around. Reflexively rebel against anyone pushing their moral philosophy. Well, unfortunately, if Costa goes through, you're going to have a moral agenda pushed on you rather forcefully. Yeah, what's the tea here? We are talking about internet censorship law, as well as embryos being considered whole-ass babies. And essentially, if you get rid of an embryo for IVF, if like you just, oh, this isn't a viable one, and you're like, okay, let's dispose of it, you have murdered a baby. Yeah, at least you might see it on live TV. That'll be very satisfying. Honestly, when I saw Mitch McConnell have his like little like moment, I was like, is this it? Is this it? Go. Like, die, 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 die. In Minecraft. Die, die, die. Is this it? Is he going? Are we about to see his soul like... Aw, man. He lives. Damn it. God gets quite irate. Yes. And unfortunately, in the US, they're just like, what? Well, I don't know what's going on with them there. I'm very thankful that I'm Canadian, but unfortunately, most of the servers and the businesses that are the internet are in the US. So all that legislation impacts globally. And I hate it. I hate everything about it. Honestly, I wish those companies would just like relocate to Canada or something. Or New Zealand or Australia. Just relocate your servers, dude. Just like everybody pull out of the US. Let's leave the US in the dark for about a year and see how well they do and be like, hey, do you want the internet back? Well, then stop it with your censorship stupidness. You don't basically, like, you don't get to have this because you're behaving badly. You don't get to infringe on people's right to free speech. So until such time as you can keep your neurotic, paranoid self to yourself and out of legislation, you don't get to have internet. Doing a corn ban in Canada too, though. I'm not sure where you got that information from. I haven't seen... Yeah, Cornhub is a Canadian company, but they be banning it in the States, not in Canada. They can't ban it in... Like, you cannot forcibly ban it in Canada. You just wouldn't be able to access it in the States. The worst legislation on this part in Europe is in Poland. Some serious bullshit. Vote Democrat, you all. No, they've actually... The Republican Party's been clearly delulu since, I think, the beginning. Pornhub isn't super great anyway. I'm not... So let's just say there is some side quest stuff over there. And a lot of the complaints about that platform are not well founded. You have like everything for, if you make content for that platform, you have to submit waiver forms, you have to submit consent forms. They're very intense about consent for collabs, and how to make an economy even worse, banning a good amount of people's source of income. Yeah, exactly. However, they've made it this moral agenda where they bring in money by convincing ignorant conservative people that they're going to ban all of this stuff. And that's what they sell. They sell you this false idea that everything will be good, everything will be better. Just ban trans people and everything will be better. Ban schmex workers and pornography and everything will be better. Don't ask for better wages. Ban trans people. Like, that's their MO. That's their vibe, is everything's the fault of feminism. All of these feminist women are at fault for your misery. Like, the way that they just like sell you this idea that you just need to ban certain things. Hi, Renacide. Hello. In Washington, who knows? And I don't blame you. Right now is it's a really shitty time to, I would say, be in that particular community. Like, I can't even begin to imagine the amount of mental, physical, emotional stress. Yeah, first they come for the socialists, and then they came for me, and there was no one left to stand for me because they'd taken everybody else, and I had said nothing. It wasn't feminism that told people it was improper to discuss your wages with coworkers. Yeah, and so I'm kind of just like, if oh, thank you for the follow. That's super, super appreciated. Welcome to the House of Quartz Twitch community. They tried banning alcohol as a way of improving moral character. Yeah, no, we already saw it with prohibition, and that definitely worked out so well. And unfortunately, what's really going to happen with something like KOSA is that it's going to drive vulnerable people underground. Like, you've got all these people being like, OF, like, only friends is causing all of these moral problems. It's providing, like, it has its issues. It has its issues. However, it's the people, it's the workers themselves who get to make that critique. Not, like, if you're not an S worker, you don't get to critique S work. You don't. Like, you don't actually have something to contribute to that conversation. You need to shut up and let the S workers speak for themselves. But when people are out here claiming this stuff, I'm like, actually, no. If you have access to something like OnlyFriends or the other type of subscriber-based platforms, that means you don't have to be on the streets. You're not stopping someone from doing that type of labor. If you take it away, you're taking away the safer form of that labor based on your own moral stupid. What's the song? That song is Pink Panther by Scene Queen. Yeah, no, politicians shouldn't be sponsored. Popping in to say hi. Hi, Rainbow. Let's see. Yeah, and people in power can't control them, right? Like, you don't have to have a pimp. You don't have to have, like, any kind of... Because if you're working, if you're having to do in-person work, then there's a chance that you'll turn to some very unsavory people for protection in exchange for exploitation by those people. And if you have access to the internet, you have access to platforms like OF, and you can do that. You can be your own person. You make your own money. You don't need protection from unsavory people. You can just exist and do your thing. And people out here like, OF this, OF that. I'm like, OF nothing. Shut up. Bonk. Your input is useless, as are you. Without corn, the internet isn't economically viable. Oh, they don't want to admit that part. You wouldn't even have the internet if it wasn't for corn. It's the demand for erotic content that drove the innovation and the technology and the platforms and the traffic. Like, you wouldn't have the things. You wouldn't have VHS if it wasn't for people who wanted to watch pornography. That's why you have it. Like, the very first VHS, you've got erotic content. That's why it was innovated. So from VHS to DVD and DVD to like being able to access online. Like, there's so many people like who use technology that exists specifically due to the demand for erotic content, and it's so hypocritical for people to be like, ban corn, ban corn. Ban your face. Ban your whole self. Like, shut up. Just hypocrite. If you're out here enjoying your phone, if you enjoy movies, if you enjoy the internet, shut the whole fuck up about S-work. Shut the whole front door. Because you wouldn't be able to enjoy that tech, you wouldn't be able to enjoy the internet if it wasn't for S-workers and their labor. And the demand for their labor. Alright, just shut the whole Frosted Flakes fuck up. Tired Brain misheard that as, oh, F this. Yeah, F this in general. Then ban all campaign contributions. Honestly, I think that when it comes to politicians should have to run on literally, like, we have the internet now. Why do politicians need campaign contributions? We should basically, I personally think that they all have to go from scratch. They are given a specific place to campaign, which is online. They don't need to travel in person. All right, they're just out here polluting with their travel from city to campaign for themselves. Zoom exists. Like, just live stream your campaign from home. Like, we should basically make a platform for politicians to campaign from, and they get no money. If you're going to be a politician, it really should be, you have to do your campaigning online. You can't take campaign money. Everybody is starting from a baseline of 0, and you all get the same amount of airtime. And that's all you have to work with. You cannot emotionally manipulate people for money. And honestly, there should be moderators over the campaigns that watch for misinformation and like literally bonk you. This is my idea, okay? Is that do you guys remember there was that old I think it was Nickelodeon that had a show that would drop green slime on you? So I think we should publicly humiliate potential politicians who try to emotionally manipulate their audience with literal misinformation by having them, like, on their live streams as they're campaigning, be moderated. Somebody is watching for that, and every time they try to shill false information and they try to claim that, like, this, that, and the other, like, let's say they claim, oh, when I am president, I'm going to ban erotic content online because erotic content is inherently bad for you. A moderator pulls a cord, and that politician to be gets green slime dumped all over them. And I don't mean like a little bucket, I mean copious amounts. And then the crowd boos at them, like a cute boo. And we just Pavlov people into keeping their campaigns on the straight and narrow of scientifically verified research. Also ban politicians. Yeah, I think this would be great. Yes, SW should be involved in creating policies that affect them. Absolutely. They should have to wear shock. Also, a shock collar would work too. You just like, they're trying to claim this, that, and the other about their policies, and if it turns out to be some weird religious bullshit, zap them. And be like, no. They'll be like, no, my freedom of religion. You'd be like, but you're trying to put it into legislation. So, that's a problem, and you get zapped. Zapped and green slime. There should actually be like a combination of electrocution plus green slime for anybody who tries to bring the Bible into legislation in their stuff. and be like, well, I'm a Christian, and as such, I believe that this legislation... That'd be great. Like, we'll literally have to use behavior modification to get politicians to respect ethical boundaries. Or electric green slime. That would be great. No retirement funds after leaving office. What about wearing a jacket with patches from all the sponsors on it? Personally, I think they shouldn't have any sponsors at all. Instead of green slime, whenever they begin to spew rhetorical BS, they get covered in real BS. You know what? I think personally I'm sticking to the green slime. I think that would be funnier and less of a literal biohazard to people who would have to, like, handle. Because if you drop literal shit on people, then somebody will have had to gather it and, like, be exposed to it. It's more for the workers. It's more for... You want to cover them in cum? Do you know how long you would have to have some people jerking off into a vat in order... That would take years. That could take up to years to fill one vat. Enough to do that. Is Derigo in today? Derigo was in here earlier. Not sure if they still are. They usually are, though. Elephants? Oh my god. I don't think sperm banks have that much sperm, and they also need that sperm for reasons. Once a year, the president should be dropped into a random area of the US with no Secret Service help and no weapons. They should be easily identifiable, and they should have to rely on how much people approve of them to get back to the White House. Hi, Dracone. Hello, hello. And yes, Derigo is indeed here. Or a whale. You want to cover them in whale batter. Oh my god. Oh my god. Listen. Listen. That's still... I do not want to expose the poor workers. The laborers who would have to gather all of that cum to drop onto a politician. I feel like that... Oh my goodness. You know what? I feel like the green slime is the most practical. It's embarrassing, it's silly and absurd, and it doesn't compromise the workers who would have to handle it. Sperm, not in Alabama. Yeah. Yeah, so this is just my idea, and it gives me pleasure to think about somebody like Ted Cruz being up there behind the podium trying to sell his shit, and then just out of nowhere you hear like a buzzer go off going wrong, and then he's just covered in green slime. Like, incorrect. And if they hit, like, they've got like a three counts or you're out, and if they hit the count of 3, the slime goes down, but at the same time a springboard just shoots out under their feet, and they go like boing, like doom, but like into the green slime, so they're just covered in green slime, and it's like a Wile E. Coyote situation as they get like out of there, and from there permanently, if you hit a strike of 3, you are permanently banned from ever running from any political office again ever, because you clearly cannot stick to the parameters of not being stupid and not trying to manipulate your audience. Or dunk tank. I mean, they could. It's just that's nasty. That's a biohazard. That's still a biohazard. Dropping their feet out from under them into a vat. I don't know. This is just my own personal preference. I like the springboard option because it's more dramatic, and I think you'd get more screaming hysterically from that result. Like, if they know there's a dunk tank below them, then they'd be like, okay, boom. And it's I think a dunk tank is anticlimactic. I think a springboard that launches them out of the building willy-nilly would give us way more of an entertaining exit. Just saying, just consider it. Just consider it. What color did I use on my eyes today? We went for copper. I've been doing a lot of copper looks this past week. Banning people running for president, now they can't do that. We've seen they can't do that. I know, we're trying so very hard. And Trump just keeps getting hit with all of these fines and things he's supposed to pay and he can't actually pay, but I think he's trying to get that thing where the president can't be held accountable, and then he'll just be like, I don't have to pay jack shit. Doesn't matter. No, exactly. Just slam the button and then full yeet. Choom, gone. And I think the audience, I think it would be a lot of fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun for all of us to be in on this event where politicians are subject to literal consequences of green slime and boing out the window and into a nearby river if they can't actually adhere to scientific research. Yeah, and then he'll pardon himself. He'll have to sell. So yeah, he hasn't even been selling sneakers, and they're just the ugliest sneakers out there. Yeah, I really like copper. I want to live in this world. I really do. I think that listen, the French are way ahead of us in terms of this. Like, speaking of dumping literal shit on somebody, I don't know what is going on with Europe and laborers, but that was quite an act of establishing dominance, just rolling into the city with all of the tractors and then like mass manure spray over governmental property, and you're just like, I wouldn't, if I worked in that government, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, you know what? Fair. Like that, the way that it takes, well, I cannot see Canada or the States ever having the balls to roll up to the legislative building, to Parliament, and just spew with a tractor manure all over it. I'd incredible. Yeah, no, the sneaker thing was sus. When it comes to civil disobedience, yeah, the French have not let go of that for a couple of centuries. No, the French are on a roll. The French they're really onto something there, and I admire that. I admire that they absolutely do not give a shit. And they will show you they do not give a shit with shit. They leave it to a country named after a battle axe to be so good. Oh yeah, you guys brought up the battle axe thing last time. The French have always been a little extra when it comes to protesting. I love it. I live for it. It's Megamind said it best, and he was like, you need presentation. And I have spoken about this on stream before, but I'm like, honestly, my biggest disappointment with conservatives is that their level of presentation is for shit. It's garbage. Oh, I know. Guy Fawkes was almost there. It was this close. We caution anyone against making threats, even indirectly, in the greatest suggest against any politician, especially one running for president. Well, that's the thing, though. That's where, hypothetically, green slime. For future potential politicians, hypothetical ones. Guy Fawkes was also a crazed conservative, wanted less freedom. Oh, listen, I'm not worried about, I'm not worried about it in any way, shape, or form personally, because, they've got a lot. The government has a lot going on. It's a lot of money to go out of your way to, like, intimidate and interrogate a content creator or their chat room. That's a lot of unnecessary paperwork and money. I would definitely say that maybe if you're at the level of, I don't know, Mr. Beast, they might give a fuck. But what was really funny was back in 2020, I think it was, there was all of those protests. You had Witch Talk saying hex the government, and we're all like, you might not want to say that out loud. Just saying, maybe you don't want to put that in a TikTok for sure. Definitely wish the UK would borrow that particular page out of the French rulebook. Yeah. I know, and the thing is with Guy Fawkes actually was not based. In the movie he is. I like the movie version of Guy Fawkes, but the actual historical version of Guy Fawkes was an asshole. And I'm going to stick with the movie version because he's sexy and based. Aw, thank you for lurking, Dusk. Wish the UK would borrow that particular page out of the French rulebook sometimes. Yeah. He is, he was just a dude. Just a silly little guy. Yeah. V is very different. V is very different from Guy Fawkes. And I love that V was like, you know what? I'm with you on the blowing up Parliament version. And yes, it is Alvaron slash, what's his face? Agent Smith from The Matrix. Some Brittown who also did that? Nice. I stand. I don't have a tractor, so I can't join in. I also am not a farmer, so me rolling up to protest with a tractor would be like, what are you doing? But I don't know, I feel it. I just wanted to be part of something. Yeah, no, he was a situation. So, yeah. Hugo Weaving, that's the actor we are thinking of. That is a very morbid fact. That's a very morbid fact indeed. Not your buddy. Yeah, no, it was a very good movie. It was a very, 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 very good movie. It's a bisexual's dream come true, for sure. I was a big fan. I was a very big fan of it, and yeah, for reasons. I think some of you may have seen a particular Insta reel, but yeah. So I don't know. I'll probably. Let's see. Yeah, because I didn't think I would... I figured we'd do it like a cozy just chatting. I don't even know what's for supper tonight. And I still have to clean the house for when Nick and their partners show up. Yeah, for gay reasons. Tractors are great for hauling shit and Russian tanks. Let's see. Hugo Weaving has triple citizenship. His parents were British and Australian, but he was born in Nigeria. Wow. Lucky duck. That's pretty cool. That is all? That is all. Okay. Okay. Love that for you. What is the bet? What bet are you talking about? You're gonna have to clue me in here. What was the bet? As an asexual, that confused me, but that's not a shock to me. Listen, you guys, like, if you're ace, it's fine. It's fine. You... Yes, I did get a haircut. It is so funny to me. Like, to have, like, it's almost like Gophers, where you guys will, like, pop, like, oh, we'll be talking about, like, schmexy stuff, and the aces will pop out and be like, well, actually, like, I'm ace, so, and we'll be like, okay. Then you don't, like, if you don't have something to contribute. Like that. It's literally such a funny thing to me. I'm like, okay, well, this is the conversation. We're not altering the conversation to how this doesn't do anything for you specifically. I'm not sure. I think what's funny to me is I'm not sure what to, like, as somebody who's not ace, I don't know how to react to that when you guys are like, well, I'm ace, and I don't, like, when the asexuals pop up and say that, I don't know what to do. Because, like, it completely redirects the conversation and puts the attention on them being ace, and it's like, I don't know where to go in the conversation from here. Like, it's more like one of those conversation things where it's like, and you're like, oh, I don't, okay. Like, not in like a bad way. It's more in just like a, not sure where to go from here now. That wasn't a look at me. That was I don't get the V for Vendetta thing specifically. Like the V for Vendetta being hot thing or V for Vendetta in general. I don't know who Alistair is. Was listening, well, driving while listening to all of this. Almost drove off the road laughing at the sea dog. Wait, you mean the comma? I know, that is kind of like the funny thing to me. And this is specifically funny to me because as a spicy creator, I have a lot of ace people in my peripheral. So I'm like, it's cool that you're here. I don't know what you want from me, considering the type of content that I make. So we'll just, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what you want. I don't know how to respond to you, but I'm not upset that you're here. It's like, it's kind of like all of the ace people around me. It's kind of like when you suddenly have, I remember like a few years ago, I used to go and eat breakfast because in the place I was living, we had a balcony. And the one morning I came out onto the balcony and there was a baby raccoon on the table and it only like it had one eye and it was just there. And I ended up being like, I want to sit down and eat my food. What do you want from me? And I just end up like, there's just this raccoon there. I'm like, hi. Yeah, I'll just, yeah, they want the affirmation content. Yeah. V for Vendetta being hot, so I meant it was meant to add to the conversation. Oh no, it's literally, I don't know, like if you're ace, I don't know if you realize that when you guys, like people are talking about things being sexy and you go, yeah, I'm ace, so I don't get it. It is weird for the rest of us because we're like, and not weird in a bad way. This isn't a shaming thing. This isn't a kind of thing. It's more in like a, okay, like the conversation was this is hot, and so it being redirected to like basically us being like, oh, this is so good, and then somebody else being like, yeah, so it's more like not really knowing where to go with the conversation. Axe grosses me out. Yeah, right, exactly, lame first. It's like he looks at me and I look at him and he looks at me. So you're just like, cool, because it redirects to the topic of being ace, and you're like, that what? Oh, okay. And I'm one of those people who just is like, if this is where the train was going, and then the train is like, poof, now jumped to like over here, I'll have to like take a second to readjust, and be like, oh, huh? Yeah, it's like, I don't get it. Well, thanks for joining the conversation. Yeah, so it is kind of like something where it's just like, okay, cool. What are you into? Pickles? I don't know. What do I have to offer you? I think for the thing is in that conversation of like, this is so hot, and somebody who's ace pops in and is like, I'm ace, so I don't get it. You kind of like, you have a moment of like, can I offer you a mushroom that like, what can I offer you in this conversation in lieu of is more the thing where it's like, okay, I have, if you don't like ding-a-lings and tatas and the meshing of those things, I have this. will this do? Like, is more the thing where it's like, I don't know what else is in my, I have a dragon. Do aces like dragons? Let's see. So yeah, like I don't, to me it genuinely is something that is funny. It's not meant to be like a shit on or anything like that. It is more like a, well, if you don't like this, which is what the conversation was about, would you like the dragon instead? I don't quite know what you would like in this scenario. Oh yes, a lot of ace artists make copious amounts of smut. Copious amounts of smut. And honestly, and it's funny to me because I am the complete opposite of ace. I at least personally in conversations where people are like, I'm ace so I don't get it, or I'm not about this. I don't get because my brain's the opposite. So to me it's like, what do I have? How do I this? I very much am about the meshing of the biddies, and if that's not what you want in this conversation, may I offer you a dragon in these trying times. And that's, I might be over explaining at this point, but yeah, to me it's more like, I don't get being ace. I know nothing about being ace. I don't understand anything about it. I respect it. I did, like, anything to do with being ace is something where I'm like, you guys need more legal rights for one thing, and being ace was unnecessarily pathologized. But once again, like, I definitely do not identify as ace, so I don't understand the experience of it whatsoever. And being a spicy creator who has for some reason a bunch of ace people in that peripheral, I'm kind of just like, I'm not sure what you're doing here. I'm not quite sure what I have to offer you. But it's cool that you're here. I am confused because you were not my target audience, but I'm not mad about it. No, you're ruining the illusion. The Princess Wand or the secret tiles. Oh yes, you can have an ara. Yeah, exactly. It's very much like, I'm not sure why you're here, but thanks for being here. If you're ace, I don't get it. I'm not sure why you're here. Considering all things considering, me being a professional sinner, but I'm not mad about it. And you don't break character, will gift a sub. Okay. Yeah, no, once again, like, you can do the redeem at any point. It's just Penguin, there's literally a redeem for your channel points. Yeah, thanks for being friends. Thank you for being a friend. Oh yeah, there was an Uwu voice redeem earlier on. So yeah, we'll do an Uwu voice as well. For the redeem ain't there. Oh, maybe I did clean out some of the redeems. I've been kind of changing them up a little bit. Or it's on cooldown for some reason, which would be weird. Yeah, Wozy, I like attention. And attention is attention. So even if I don't understand why I'm getting your attention, I'll take it anyway. And the offer for a dragon, because I genuinely... Thank you so very much, Lady Morai, for the Wii subscription for 9 months. Aww. It's good to see you here. It's good to see you here. So, am I familiar with Littles? Yes. This Discord server actually has a section specifically for Whittles, and you would have to hit up the admin in the server Blitz Boo to gain access to the little portion of the server. Oh, was it yeeted? Yeah, so like I was saying, I don't understand. For the aces who are here, I do not understand why you're here. But may I offer you a dragon in these trying times? If the biddies and the mashing of biddies doesn't work for you, I also have this dragon and some spoons. Blitz is awesome, indeed. Yes. Yeah. Also, if you go into the Discord server, there is like a rules section and a welcome section that has all the instructions for that stuff. You want a dragon? Okay. Okay. And yeah, no, it's not to make you, the whole spiel is not to make anyone feel bad. Like if you are Ace and you're like jumping into a conversation about stuff, that's not it. It's more like, well, if you're not about this, that's basically my whole brand. Dinosaurs. I have a dragon. If you're not about the brand, if you're not about I also have dinosaurs. Interested sometimes? Yeah. Here for affirmations and education, as well as comedy and vibes. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I hope you're also here for the dragons and the dinosaurs. Yeah, it actually was genuinely confusing to me at first. And also, like, Ace is a very valid part of the kink community. And especially at the beginning, a lot of my content was very heavily kink themed. That was my niche, and I figured, like, yeah, sure, 1 or 2 people who are Ace would be drawn in. I wasn't expecting this many, and so I was just like, hi! This wasn't what I expected. It's kind of like if you go, because when you're a content creator, you put out a net for a certain type of audience. Like you have your target audience, and yeah, you're hoping for an explanation of why it was hot. Listen, I can't explain why V is inherently hot to me. There's no words for that. Yeah. I'm here to hear about dumping green whale cum on politicians. We are Legion. Apparently. And so it was genuinely a surprise to me. Because I was like, I was casting my net out there for, let's say, salmon, and ended up catching like tuna instead, that sort of thing, right? Where it was like, that this is what I thought my target audience was. Turns out I was incorrect. Not to my disappointment. just confusion. And yeah, no, I honestly, because of course being in the demographics that I am, yeah, having a large trans following, Ace following and stuff, I'm like, I'm not mad about it. Surprised, but not mad. And honored. Like if honestly for me, like, given what my brand is, if you are not literally my target audience, but you're still here and like feeling comfortable, feeling like you're getting something out of it, then I'm like, oh, well, that means my content's doing good things for people. I tend to be traumatized as fuck, and so the affirmations hit just right. Oh yes. No, it's very much that one cosplay character that's just like, how did this human get here? Like, just picking you up by the scruff of your neck. Like, what? I'm not going to punish you for being here. I'm not going to be mad. I'm just, how did you get here? Like, tangled with a Rapunzel with a frying pan. Like, who are you? And how did you find me? Alright, sounds good. It was good to have you in chat. Yeah, so that's more the thing. It was like, oh, hi! What a surprise. I just ended up with a bunch of Ace minions. Somehow. Cool beans. So I guess this is more me admitting I don't quite know what to do with you. But I'm not mad about it. And apparently you're rocking and rolling with whatever I've done, whatever it is I'm doing, so I don't need to specifically do anything about or for you. It's just cool that you're here. We'll do a demon boop for you. They enjoy the vibes. They enjoy the good vibes, yeah. So we'll do a boop for you here. Came for goth girl cosplay, stayed for the people, picks up picture of Tiger Queen, missing she. Aww. Aww. You're gonna go get soft tacos later? Yeah, everyone should get soft tacos. That's what I should. That's what I should get for my ace followers. Is if you're not about the side quests, we'll get tacos for the aces. Everybody else, you can have the spice, and then the aces will have dinosaurs, dragons, and tacos. That sounds like a plan to me. Came for the chaotic makeup, stayed for the. Yeah, that's basically my brand. And penguin is a delight in any chat. That they are. Cake and garlic bread, please. Ponks. No, you're getting tacos. I'm the driver. I decide what I decide which drive-through we're going through. Okay, never mind. Lady's gotcha. If I'm not ace, can I still get dinosaurs, dragons, and soft tacos? No, you're getting
Street smart.
I'm so sorry. Rosie's the type to pull up to McDonald's with a van full of kids, chanting and cheering, and just orders a coffee for herself. I would never do that. I would never do that. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say corn. I was gonna say you're getting corn and you're gonna like it. Hey sad kitten. Hello, welcome back. Tacos, you say? What kind? Linguina? Chipa? Oh my goodness, that's so many different types of tacos. That sounds great though. That sounds really good. I'm here for it. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful addition. No, for real. For real. I would don't worry about it, sad kitten. Don't worry about it. I may have broke myself. I may have possibly broke myself. You want no? Okay, fine. You can have. Fine. You can have nuggies. Everybody gets nuggies. And yeah. I also like corn. Did not hear corn. Heard a related but different C word. I stopped at C. Okay. I did not say a full word. I said chicken nuggies and then schmecks. And then more chicken nuggies afterward as aftercare. Yeah. Hot mustard dipping sauce. I'm more of a sweet and sour person myself. Which reminds me, I had nuggies yesterday and they forgot to give me my sweet and sour sauce, and I was most put out about it. I was upset. I was very, very upset. Chicken nuggies are self-care and aftercare. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're good. They absolutely are. They're a good thing together. Ooh, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be streaming on Monday or not, because Pinup Witch and their partner are going to be here. So I don't know what kind of shenanigans we're going to be up to. We'll probably also be collabing with Formative Fox while Nick is up here. We're thinking about doing maybe some glow-in-the-dark Fae type of content. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, Rosie crashed just a little bit. Just a little bit. You love food? Love that for you. I I am definitely one of those people who I can tell you, Penguin, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what our schedule is going to look like. Chaos stream? Oh yeah, Pinup and I have a great time whenever we stream together. Chances are we probably will. I just don't know for sure. And getting a day of content creation. Solid. Solid. Yeah, I don't know if we will. I don't know if I will be live. Basically, this is me saying I don't know for sure yet. We kind of just, we figure it out as we go. And yeah. Yeah, that's about where we're at on that one, where I'm just like, I really couldn't tell you. I'm not sure. So excited for the collaboration. The three of you are thick as thieves. Yeah, we've been doing content together for a hot second now, and I think I've been collabing with Foxy for just over a year, and Pinup and I have been collabing for 3 years now, actually, which is pretty cool to me, because we both started side questing in 2021. I think she and I would have been collabing for about just over 2 years, because we started collabing near the end of 2021. Yeah, the anniversary share post. Yeah, Faye pillow fight. Probably not a pillow fight, because then you'd be knocking off all your a Faye pillow fight would be insanely impractical, because like all of your cosplay stuff would fall off, and then you get makeup on the pillowcases. Yeah, that would not be sexy. I promise you, that would just be sad. That'd be very sad. You just have like things halfway hanging off and draped about. You just do a regular pillow fight though. You know what? I don't think I've ever done that content, the classic pillow fight stuff, but that's probably because I don't think pillow fights are really like sexy content. And maybe that's because I take my pillow fights seriously, because I'm a goddamn professional. Faye glitter fight then? Oh god. Oh god. Our partners would kill us. Yeah, that was a good Twitter post. People trying to restick accessories on. Uh-huh. Yeah, it'd be knocking off all the things. In bikinis and thongs they are? No, listen, if I'm in exactly every pillow fight that I'm in, it's not sexy. It is it is a brawl. It is a smackdown. I'm there to win. I'm not there to make you I'm not there to be sexy, all right? I'm not there to do anything for you visually. I'm there to win. Rosie's MMA pillow fight record: 28 wins, 3 deaths, 0 losses. Yeah, what is a professional? It's somebody who wins. You know, I listen, you guys would be like, "Oh, this is hot. Oh god. Oh no. Are they dead?" Yeah. Violence is sexy. Now I'm concerned for your well-being. There are 2 types of people in Rosie's pillow fights: Rosie and losers. Hoorah. Bold of you to assume we wouldn't find that sexy. I would be concerned. Yeah. Rosie plays for keeps. I'm holding nothing back. If I'm in a pillow fight with you, you're going down. I'm so concerned for you all. I am so worried about you. I could straight up stab somebody and you guys would be like, that's hot. This is now your check. This is now it. Go talk to somebody. same mentality as women with swords. E-girls getting hot and sweaty in a pillow fight sounds hot. Listen, I promise you it would not be. It would not. What would actually happen, you guys are expecting, what is her face? Is it Rhea Ripley? I'm not quite sure how you say your name. You guys are expecting Rhea Ripley from me when what would actually happen is the cocaine bear. I need you to understand. You would not be getting Dommy Mommy Rhea Ripley from me in the situation of a pillow fight. You would be getting the cocaine bear. Yeah, no, now I'm very concerned about you. Rhea Ripley is cocaine bear though? How dare you? How dare— no, she is not. No, Xena. Yeah, no. The cocaine bear is admirable, though. You did not— the words cocaine bear bussy did not just leave your keyboard, Rainbow. I'm so worried right now. Cocaine bear hitting you with a pillow containing another cocaine bear. Oh, you thought you survived the cocaine bear? No, surprise, motherfucker. It's another cocaine bear. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be so good. I would not be sacrificing them to you specifically. I also accept sacrifices. Oh yes, I think we all can unashamedly say that we simp for Rhea. I did see Cocaine Bear. I did. And I was re-traumatized all over again. I should not have taken myself and every friend I could possibly get to come with me to that movie. Because I honestly thought that it would be like Sharknado. And, but like with bears. And it was not Sharknado, but with bears. Because I want the sacrifice. That's why. There's enough sacrifices to go around. There's enough sacrifices for us both. Your research group went to see Cocaine Bear together. Favorite aesthetic is women who look like they could kill me, but are also super sweet and nice. Yeah, there's very few. It's honestly with the women with swords trope, most of them, they give, oh, what's her face from, Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Which is, the one who's usually in like a leather jacket, like very black cat energy. Yeah, Cocaine Bear plays for keeps. Ran aside, thank you so much for the resubscription. It has been over a year. Carly Rae Jepsen? No, it's Rosa. Rosa, that's who I'm talking about. That's it. Alright, sounds good, Penguin. There can be only one? Yeah, it's Rosa. Rosa that I'm talking about. Usually if you've got like women with a sword who could kill you, you're looking at like a Rosa type of archetype. Yeah, but that works for me. That works for me. Highlander Cocaine Bear, jeez. I think that would be hilarious. A bunch of like Scotsmen fighting off a cocaine crazed bear. Yes, please. That would actually be pretty funny. Maybe I feel like we could get closer to Sharknado, but with Cocaine Bear if it was set in Scotland. Remember all the memes from lesbians about giving Carly Rae Jepsen a sword? And then someone... What? Why was this a meme? Why would... I'm so confused. Why did the internet all of a sudden just... All the lesbians just collectively decide that Carly Rae Jepsen specifically needed to have a sword? And also, couldn't she have bought her own sword if she really wanted one? Considering she probably made bank off of literally just Call Me Maybe. I don't know as the lesbians. Yeah, who knows the ways of the lesbians except for the lesbians? We do not understand their deep magic. An Egyptian cocaine bear played by a Scottish cocaine bear pretending to be a Spanish cocaine. What? She does deserve a sword. I guess. I don't know. She never gave me sword bearer energy. Maybe Lady of the Lake give you sword energy. Honorary lesbian. You know what? I feel like content of Sean Connery, like fist fighting cocaine bear, might actually be pretty baller. The lesbians are their own mystery. You can't just buy a sword, you have to win it in combat or be gifted it by a water nymph. Exactly. And I guess the lesbians count as a water nymph in this situation. We could also have a Norwegian cocaine squid. That might also work. Yeah, no, I was chased by a grizzly bear a few years back, so when I went to go see the Cocaine Bear movie, my brain had a very visceral reaction that my dumbass did not see coming. And honestly, I'm very lucky that I'm pretty, because my brain cell count on some days is questionable at best. So I went and very enthusiastically dragged every friend I could to the Cocaine Bear movie, only to have a complete panic attack and climb into my partner's lap mid-movie in sheer terror. Yeah. My brain was not impressed with me. And I didn't even remember during the movie that I'd been chased by a bear. It wasn't until after I left the movie theater and I was like, why did this scare me so much? That was a terrible movie. And then I was like, oh right, I have been chased by a bear. Got good pats though? No, did not. Absolutely did not. Coming soon to theaters. After Cocaine Bear is the Heroin Otter. Yep, followed quickly by Meth Hummingbird. Wow. She Hath No Name has the cocaine squid covered, apparently. A Timmy's and maple syrup fueled beaver. Have you guys seen the horror movie about beavers called Zombeaver? Now that's some peak content. He didn't give nice, but oh, I thought you meant like the bear that chased me. I was like, no, you do not want to get patted by a bear. And next, after Meth Hummingbird, we have Steroid Moose. And then following that, if we're going along with like Canadian wildlife, we would probably have like some kind of fentanyl wolf. Yeah, Zombeavers was great. Zombeavers was fantastic. Yeah. No, Jordan, the half of the friends had they were watching the movie, well, Zonked, and they were having a great time. Delta 8 ant colony. The moose don't need steroids. They're already on steroids. Just a Canada Goose completely sober. Honestly, the Canada Goose completely sober would probably take the cake for most horrifying animal encounter. I was also very happy. I was very happy that the chonky bear thing is still a thing. I was like, yay, chonky bears. What about badgers? Badgers, you could also just fight a badger sober and lose. Badgers and geese, you don't fuck with... You don't pop or polar bears. That could also... Or just a blackout drunk Canada Goose. I mean, either way, the goose, I think, wins just on basis of goose alone. Don't underestimate a meerkat either. Depends on what the goose has been drinking. The goose has been drinking. There's literally a vodka that has geese on it. Yeah, Grey Goose, Canada Goose. Yes, so the next movie, we've got Cocaine Bear and then Grey Goose, Canada Goose. In Virginia, your geese have taken up residency. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. Or yes, we could also have a movie that is Cocaine Bear versus Heroin Otter versus Meth Beaver versus Steroid Moose versus Sober Goose. And they all fight. Yeah. I would watch that. I would watch that. I would put bets on that. Now, Canadians don't fear very much, but you see a moose coming. Geese, personally, I'm not... I have respect for geese. An unmitigated fear of moose. Like, I'm respectfully fearful of geese, but I will, like, walk... Like, if I'm on a walk and there's geese around, like, you mind your own. Geese won't fuck you up unless you fuck with them. Typically. Every once... You have a wild card here and there, but usually most geese, they're not going to bother. However, a moose will see you and be like, fuck you in particular. And the next thing you know, you are Canadian pancake under their hooves. Like, yeah, you respect a goose's authority. A moose has the time. Okay? Geese have things to do. Geese are very family oriented. Geese, I'm pretty sure, have like homeowners associations. Geese have a society, all right? So while geese have the capacity to fuck you up, they've got stuff going on. There's things happening in their lives. You need to give them a reason to fuck with you. And if they just randomly start fucking with you, chances are you looked at them wrong, you disrespected them in some way. Just trust me, you gave them a reason. A moose needs no reason to fuck up your whole life. A moose will make the time. A moose will have the energy. A moose will choose hands on sight for no reason other than, I don't know, hashtag thug life. Yeah, just don't mess with large mammals in general. Baby geese are great. And yeah, usually with geese, you'll just be like, shoo, shoo, something like that, and they'll like, they'll do their little thing. Do 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 do. Property every year. Yeah, you know, with them, it's geese tend to be pretty chill overall. If you do disrespect a goose in some way, even if you don't understand how you did it, you gave them a reason. Moose choose violence every day. Moose worship the god of destruction. And in order to appease their god, they will choose your face as a sacrifice. In fairness, if you upset Goose Society by breaking the rules, you'll have to deal with a popular uprising. Yeah, and that's the thing with geese, is that you could have them descend upon you. In the migration path of Canada geese, they aren't as much of a threat as road deer, and a moose is just a giant deer. Yeah, you know, when I lived in Newfoundland, there was always, you never knew, a moose could just appear. You would be living your life. You could scan the open area and be like, are there any moose here? There would be nothing. And you'd be like, this is fine. Considering how big a moose is, if you think you know how big a moose is, you don't know how big a moose is. And it'll be like, okay, nothing the size of a tank is in the vicinity. I can just drink my coffee in peace. And you'll look up and it's moose. Somehow. Those motherfuckers are quiet. A couple tons of muscle and an itty bitty brain. Yeah, Yeah, we used to get deer in our backyard when I was a kid. Also a lot of coyotes. If geese have HOAs, you're fucked. I'm pretty sure they do. Which explains their care and attitude. Yeah, a moose will make a sedan look very small. And they definitely show up in like odd places. And given all this, remember that orcas hunt moose. Orcas are the reason I don't go on the ocean. Alright? I respect what Mother Nature has chosen. And clearly, war has been declared. I'm going to respect whatever decision it is that the orcas seem to have collectively made, and I'm going to remain on dry land. Honestly, as much as I'm like, moose choose violence, I will take my chances with the moose over an orca any day. Orcas. Yeah, no. Have been stealthy, but I respect that I play in the space moose were born in. Mm-hmm. Seen deer cross at crosswalks. Deer are pretty smart. Yeah, no, orcas have been uprising. Orcas only have issues with people who own yachts. I don't blame them. I also have issues with people who own yachts. And that's something that I share in common with the orcas, and that's one of the reasons I will stand back and just allow them to throw hands without protest. Megafauna? You've seen him before. Yeah, no, orcas. I have a deep be respect and fear for orcas. Welcome back, Court. And I think we should just let them be. Yeah, people who mess with wildlife, you'll get some people who try to approach bison, and you're just like, what are you doing? Girly pop, do not touch the fuzzy cow, okay? Just leave that alone. I know you want a good picture for Instagram, but, death. You just leave some things alone. Regular sized dolphins weren't violent enough, so God made orcas. You know what? Honestly, it seems just across the planet something had to exist. Can I pet that dog? Yeah, that counts. Yeah, no, go find a little Highlander cow. You know, the ones that you can put in pajamas and they do the bounce, bounce, bounce thing? You can pet that cow. A hippo and a moose having a standoff would be interesting. You know what? I wonder if a moose or a hippo would win. But I feel like the hippo would win because it's low to the ground, and moose are on very tall, spindly legs. So I feel if you are at the capacity of a hippo, you go for the knees. With the moose, just right there at the back of the knees, and it's game over for the moose. Yeah, dolphins can be assholes. Yeah, no, I don't fuck with orcas. That's awful. Yeah, hippos have jaws, and that, yeah, they're a solid brick. Elephant versus moose. I would actually bet on the moose in the case of an elephant because elephants are polite. I feel like you could take an elephant by surprise. And elephants give the energy of like they could fuck you up, but it would take a while for their brain to like shift into gear. Moose are always in a state of violence. They're ready to go at any time. Whereas with an elephant, there has to be like a downshift in the brain in order to like access that programming. So I think that the elephant, here's the thing, the elephant might be bigger, but the reaction time. Yeah, no, hippos do it. Hippos will fuck you up for the pleasure of it. And they enjoy it. Also, apparently a hippo ate a small child and then coughed it out again, and the kid was okay. Raging elephants, a sight to behold. Calm 1 minute, angry cement truck the next. So here's the thing though, how long... It may seem like it went from calm to angry cement truck within a second, but I personally think it took a while. My theory about elephants is that even if it seemed like it came out of nowhere, it seems like it came out of nowhere because they're so placid in general. But my guess is it took the elephant 10 minutes to get there. You just didn't see it because they're such good maskers. They have a max jaw opening of 7 feet? That's illegal. I've decided that's illegal. So even if the moose lowered its rack charged elephant, it probably wouldn't move the elephant. Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's say assuming you could put a human consciousness into the moose. If I were the moose, I would move fast and I would go for the eyes. You go for the eyes and the trunk and you blind the elephant right off the bat. And then go from there. However, this just took a dark turn. Hippo's mouth-throat interface is very small. At Dublin Zoo, someone either killed or almost killed a hippo with a tetanus ball. Oh god. Yeah, because I was wondering if whether or not that would be even possible for a hippo to swallow a whole child. Yeah, just go for the eyes. If the elephant sees the moose coming, elephant all day, every day. In badly run circuses. Oh yes. Listen, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't already know that hippos are the ultimate murder machines and they cause more death than anybody else on the continent there. Like, we all know that the trophy for homicide goes to the hippo. Moose would be, you ain't so bad, elephant, I could take you. They just drown, bite, trample them. Yeah, no, honestly, I hope I never, ever, ever am in the vicinity of a hippo. Like, if crocodiles, alligators, I respect it. I get it. It's the food chain. I don't want to go out because the hippo just chose violence completely unnecessarily. I don't want to be a pleasure kill, if that makes sense, okay? I understand being eaten for the sake of being eaten. I don't want to be a murder trophy. Doesn't happen with hippos. You know what? And that's the thing with humans. You know, humans are little cowardly piss babies when the ritual isn't killing a hippo. Like, come on, step up. Step the fuck up. Man up. Take a hippo. It's not that hard to take a lion. You ever seen footage of a lion? If you just wait for them to nap. They're always napping. That's all you gotta do. Nap. No, you need to go for a hippo. You want to impress me? Hippo. You and the hippo right now. Hands on sight. Listen, don't... Speaking of pleasure kill, where are you going with that sentence? Hippos are like John Shaft. Who is John Shaft? I feel like I'm hitting a record in this, like, today's stream for the number of references that I don't understand and are going completely over my head. I'm like, what? Yeah, no, it don't impress. So you killed a lion, huh? That don't impress me much. So you got the lion, but you missed the tank. Shaft is a 1970s reference. You guys, I was born in the 1990s. How would I know about Shaft? Pleasure kill, polar bear, they just kill for fun. Oh yeah, What was it? It was also, there was a pair of lions. Most lions, male lions, are pussies. Female lions, girl boss, all day, every day. But there was a set of male lions that just went on a pleasure kill spree. And there was a movie about it that my parents made us watch a few times. I don't know why my parents like this movie so much, but it was called A Ghost in the Darkness. And that one haunts me. That movie was genuinely terrifying. How would I know? I know, for the irony of me saying with my whole chest, how would I know about Shaft? Yeah. Shaft was remade by Samuel L. Jackson, though. Still, how would I know? So, does this seem... what is their message? Does this seem like the sort of person who would go out and just seek out Shaft from Samuel L. Jackson? They did. They went out of their way to traumatize me. And that was kind of funny because for all of not being able to watch stuff like Sailor Moon and Scooby-Doo, my mom sure took a lot of delight in introducing my younger sibling and I to Cujo. And the Gremlins movie. But the Gremlins movie is now a personal favorite. I mean, kind of. This is a Wendy's. Rosie does not do surge pricing. I do surge something. I did not know that. I'm just feeding them lines. I guess I am now at this point. This is just such low-hanging fruit. Fortunately, fruit and not low-hanging shaft. Oh, that's a good message, Court. Yeah, Cujo. I love introducing friends who haven't seen Gremlins. And the funny thing is, like, I'll just be like, that was in the 70s or 80s. How would I see it? I have seen copious amounts of very specific content from the 70s and 80s. And that's MacGyver and MASH and Cujo. Supposed to movies that was way too young for as a kid. What's Cujo? So, Cujo features a Saint Bernard, and this is not spoilers, okay? This movie has been out. I have not watched Critters. This movie has been out for several decades, okay? So if you don't want me to spoil Cujo for you, mute now. However, Cujo, from what I remember, featured a lovely, 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 wonderful, loving Saint Bernard that belongs to an absolute, like, trash, conservative piece of shit that's living out in the middle of nowhere. And he keeps, he keeps abusing this dog. And for some reason, I don't remember the connection of this man to, like, a mother and her son. I don't think it's the dad. I'm not sure, though. I don't remember. But this dog, like, you hear there's, like, the dog just basically fucks off to the middle of nowhere and sticks its nose into, like, something, like a hole in a cave, and there's a bat in that hole, and the bat, with rabies, bites the dog's nose. The dog's name is Cujo. And over the next couple of days, the rabies takes hold, and the dog proceeds to go on a killing spree. Now, of course, the dog takes out the abusive asshole, and that's very satisfying. However, this mother and son end up on the property, trapped in the car. I forget why the car's not working, but now there's this murder pupper that's circling the car and wants to kill them, but they can't leave because the dog will kill them, but the car's not working. So basically, this movie is featuring this mom and son watching people show up to the farm getting murdered by the dog. Like, there's a scene where they fall asleep, night passes, the mom wakes up, and the dog is lying on the hood of the car, just staring at her, and she just like wakes up and makes eye contact with it, like like your stomach just goes, huh? Yeah, murder pupper. Me and the dog have something in common. Oh my god. Stephen King book. I don't even know, like, is Cujo a Stephen King based thing? The car's not working because plot. Yeah, cause plot. Yeah, MacGyver. I had Richard Dean Anderson was yummy. Was very yummy. The Simpsons. What is it? Marge's sister in The Simpsons have such like an obsessive crush on MacGyver, on Richard Dean Anderson, and I don't blame them. Cujo is Stephen King. Cujo is basically if Stephen King wrote Old Yeller. Yeah, it's rough. So in this movie, the mom eventually has to leave the car, go in the house, and try to get help or kill the dog, right? You need to watch Stargate. Way ahead of you. Way ahead of you. I watched Stargate up until Richard Dean Anderson left, and then I completely lost interest. Yeah, Cujo, big Saint Bernard pupper. Big doggo. Yeah, it was sad. It was super sad. They did a good job of setting this dog up to be so sweet and so loving. And then they make him so scary. And you're like, no, pupper, no. Why? Why would they do this to you? Yeah. It's, he was just as hot in Stargate. And what absolutely killed me, it was one of the earliest episodes, but because in Stargate, you have to literally dial up phone home ET. You have to dial up the Stargate. You have to dial in the coordinates. And they're trying to figure out the panel, like get it working. And so one of the people on the team just, she says something about MacGyvering the panel, and he just looks at her like, yeah, it was a great little fourth wall break over there. But one of my favorite moments in Stargate was when Teal'c, who's kind of like he's the non-human in the whole Stargate team, the SG-1 team, they're talking about Oprah, and Teal'c just goes, "What is in Oprah?" It's just so good. Haven't watched too much MacGyver, but Stargate, all of it, many times. Don't go, can't answer, get impossible like Pink Panther. Mortis, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the House of Quartz Twitch/YouTube streaming community. Welcome. And also recently lost a loved one. I'm sorry to hear that. That is so tough. Haven't finished Universe, but SG-1 and Atlantis many times. Yeah, I heard Atlantis was good. I'm super enjoying Stargate Voyager. I love honestly, I am very gay for women, and I have a thing for older women. I really do. Janeway works for me. I just, whenever people talk about how like you always want like 18, 19, 20 is where it's at, I'm like, no, it's not. Have you seen Janeway? Have you seen this woman? Please. That's fine wine. Right there. Yeah, also women. You have SG and MacGyver on DVD. I used to have all of MacGyver on DVD. A Midwest talk show hosted by Oprah. You found an appreciation? Yeah. I love that for you. Balana? Yeah. Also Balana. Yes. It's so good. I really... Also, my thing with Star Trek Voyager is that they're covering some really in-depth philosophical questions, and
It's very well done. The person playing the captain, who, like, the actress who plays Janeway, she's really good. And see, I really love DS9, but DS9 had something weird about it. The way that they ended that show, like with the prophets and stuff like that, they added a religious component that was super woo-woo, and it kind of detracted from the whole thing, and it was a very anticlimactic end. Kate Mulgrew, that's who that is. I haven't played Mass Effect myself, or like I don't know anything about Mass Effect. Yeah, Janeway. You've got the MacGyver box set because it was the only way to get the 2 movies. I forgot there were movies too. But yes. I don't know, DS9 was good, but I feel like Voyager tightened it up. At least from what I've seen so far, is that they keep it... There's no like off in the wilderness holodeck stuff happening. Like there's fewer so far. There's been like the holodeck isn't something that occupies the entire episode. You like Samara? DS9, my favorite portions are specifically with Worf, Klingons, and the Ferengi plots. The Ferengi plots were so good. Also, Worf, we stand an autistic king. I love the way that Worf is written. They also added background with the one to the show as well. Yeah. I don't know, Tom really doesn't do it for me. Tom, this is a character in Star Trek Voyager. Like, Tom is very, like, he's very, like, stock, handsome, like, blonde, blue-eyed man. Like, I don't really, like, pay attention to him in the series that much. Voyager gets really weird the last 2 seasons. Aw, damn it. No! Why do they do this? They do stick to the horniness, though. I will give them that. Star Trek, across every series that I've seen, from the very first one and right along, Star Trek upholds its fundamental foundation of unabashed horniness and the desire to fuck alien species without shame. And I respect that. I love that. That is... Honestly, it keeps me coming back for more. I finally saw the very first episode of Star Trek, and it was, what would happen if this alien species captured the Star Trek captain and tried to make him fuck in captivity? The very first episode, guys. The very first. They were right out of the gate with the horniness. Yet you would know. You would know. The pilot. Yeah, no, humans, this seems to be something where, honestly, when it comes, because I was talking earlier about COSA, the Kids Online Safety Act, and how they want to censor the internet. And honestly, I think that what is really going to come in clutch for us, for the censorship-wise, is that conservatives who are trying to change legislation and baby-proof the internet have not taken into account the insane level of horniness for aliens that humans have that cannot be contained. It will spill over. People will go to jail to express specifically how much they want to fuck an alien. They do not care. If you decide to get rid of all corn on the internet and all smut, you will have people, copious amounts of people, going to jail proudly for their alien smut. Yeah, we with our massive brains can make them bang. And that's what that was the plot. Us aliens with our massive brains can make these 2 people fuck. Like, just now kiss. No, people will go to jail for xenocy. VPN, they're also trying to outlaw VPNs. So, That's not gonna help you. People in charge, period, underestimate the horniness of the internet. They really do. They really do. I do not think that a lot of these people don't understand that there are degenerates, myself included, who will stand on principle. You see, here's the thing. I was raised, this is the ironic thing for me. I was raised to believe that the government would be coming for me, that I would go to jail for my beliefs. And now it is very ironic that that may indeed happen someday. I may be jailed for my beliefs. However, I grew up believing that I would be jailed for my belief that Jesus is coming again. However, what it turns out I will be more likely put in prison for is my belief that smut, tentacle smut, should exist on the internet. I will proudly go to jail to defend this expression of human schmexuality. Oh my goodness. No, the furries really need to come in clutch for us on this legislation. Book Talk, the furries, I don't know who's out there, but if you're listening, please, we need you to rise now. The internet's depending on you and your degeneracy, your commitment to smut. Please, we're begging you. Buster thinking it would squash Rule 34. You're never going to squash Rule 34. Remember, the Christian books also fall under that category. Oh yeah, I love that one person who was like, the Bible, and they went through the process to be like, the Bible needs to be banned on the basis of containing corn. The internet was born of corn and it will die of corn. I don't know what that last word is supposed to indicate, Dracone. Into what? I'm so confused. I'm lost. Bugs? The furries already hacked the Idaho National Laboratory just a couple... Why would you hack the Idaho National Laboratory? What an oddly specific action to take. They're into bugs? Oh, so you mean like they're furries, but they're insects instead of an animal? I'm pretty sure that exists. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm honestly, there's probably a version of a furry for literally anything. And honestly, like the Aces, I was saying earlier, Ace was not my target audience, but ended up having a whole bunch show up around me. Furries were also not my target audience per se, maybe adjacently. And I do understand why they're here. They may not have been necessarily the target audience. I don't even know what my target audience is. My target audience is thirst-trapping people with religious trauma. Now that's it. That's my brand, actually, right there. I've been struggling very hard to come up with an explanation for myself. Like, what is my brand? Thirst-trapping people with religious trauma. Yeah. So for me to be thirst-trapping people, I did not expect to catch aces in the thirst trap, but we're rocking and rolling with it. Furries, I did expect. I don't make furry-specific content, but I'm not surprised they're here. Yes, that would for reptiles, it's scalies, right? They wanted in real life cat girls. Apparently, they identify themselves as gay furry hackers. Wait, they hacked the research facility because they wanted to see if being a real cat girl was possible. You know what? I respect the commitment to the goal. I respect that is Delulu I can respect. They really went for it, huh? Furries like the boops and encouraging words. Yeah, basically. I'm not sure what the term is for bugs. I would expect that bug furries would be much more niche. Wanted them to make them for them. Yeah, no, failing. I wouldn't call them furry bait. Maybe more like pet play bait. Is like if those cosplay characters are anything, the target audience was pets. Hey, Krogan girl. But furry adjacent, maybe. Because I wouldn't consider those cosplays to be like a persona for me. As far as the government is covering this up, I did not expect real life cat girls to be the target. You know what? That's such a lovely conspiracy theory, though. I love that for them. Like, to be like, the government is hiding cat girls from us. I wish that kind of conspiracy theory for myself. That's a wholesome conspiracy theory, okay? The government is conspiring to send us all up in a nuclear is like, that's the type of conspiracy theory that I come across on the daily. Or like, vaccines cause autism and exhausting shit like that. No, the government is hiding cat girls and we're hacking the research facility to prove that they can and do cat girl is lovely, actually. I love that for them. Hashtag free the cat girls 2024. Yeah, I want more wholesome conspiracy theories. Yeah, I have no idea any of that stuff, because once again, like, I am not in the furry community. I couldn't begin to tell you anything about that particular subculture, but if they are present, you also can have a dragon. You also can has a dragon and dinosaurs. What would be the furry equivalent for wanting to bang Zora from Legend of Zelda? I don't even remember a character called Zora. It's been a long time since I've done anything related to Legend of Zelda. Also, the phrase gay furry hackers. Yeah, I love that exists. There is so much happening in the world that is awful. Like, incels exist. What an awful subgroup of people. You've got trad wife influencers. What an awful subset of people. I hate that exists. No. Boo. Gay furry hackers? Yes. That's some good vibes. We're here for the gay furry hackers. We love it. Listen, I don't need Cocaine Bear. I really don't. I've had enough Cocaine Bear to last a lifetime. You'll accept the dragon? Yeah. There's a procedure or something to turn people into cat girls. Would get it in a heartbeat. I probably would too, actually. Not to be like, I would love to have a cat tail. I would love to have cat ears. That'd be great. That'd be bitchin'. Okay, like, honest to goodness, whenever people try to argue with me that humans, like, the human anything indicates intelligent life. No! Okay, this disclaimer, what I'm about to say does not discredit anything else that I say in my content about self-esteem and loving yourself and all of that good stuff, okay? I will bonk you if you say otherwise. But this, as much as all of that is important, there's nothing about this that indicates intelligent design, okay? What is this? What is this? You couldn't at least put a little, like, point on the end for, like, artistic flair? What is any of this? What is this? Where's the drama? Where's the presentation? What is this? What are those? What is any intelligent design? My ass. All right, have you seen a human spine? There is nothing about a human spine that indicates intelligent design, except for maybe a 5-year-old stacked it together out of Legos and then was like this, and they put it through a 3D printer and they're like, this is your back now. Dinosaurs Wild, probably the easiest of those to make. Oh yeah, Tradwives are a very special sector of Delulu. Oh yes, I think so many of us would just love to be a cat girl. Or just know a cat girl. Hey, Dolly Grayson, hello. Thank you so much. That's a Twitch baby's worth of resubscriptions to this channel. Thank you so very much, hon. I appreciate it. How you doing today? You know what? I actually was just about to say the only thing humans have going for them is ass. And not every human even got graced with, like, ass with flair, so to speak. Her cellular structure is very complex, though. If we can summarize it as mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, it can't be that complex. You want to be a robot? Yeah, cyber. Ooh, cyber cat girl. For having an intelligent design, we have an inconsistent amount of redundant parts. No shit. No shit. Pink hotel lobby, boyfriend's in the base. A whole lot of boobs. I want to put my face in. Oh yes. Seeing Queen's lyrics, slap. Their new song, I think their new song is called Fingering. It's great. Grip it and rip it. I want bat wings for some reason. Bat wings go hard. I don't blame you for wanting bat wings. And let's be honest, intelligent design is the crab. Yeah, clearly. God exists, but the only thing that God actually designed was crabs. And the rest of it was a free-for-all. And honestly, it's the amount of redundant parts for me. If God did design this, God needs to be bonked with a frying pan and made to sit down. God is not... If God is actually the one who designed this, then God did a bad job and should be fired. Alright? There may be... If God actually did design this, then maybe there's design, but it was not intelligent. It may have been intentional design, not intelligent design. Why do I have tonsils and a spleen? Right? Funny story, evolution tracks like 6 times crap occurred or something silly like that. I know, God might have been high. I honestly feel like if God was the one responsible for designing a human, he literally just put a slinky. He was like, it needs to walk upright. What do we have lying around? Oh, look at this little like wibbly wobbly coil thing. Let's stick that in there. And now we're stuck with lower back pain for our entire adult lives. Okay, I do not believe in a God on the basis of back pain alone. That's the only reason I need. He isn't anymore. Why do we have an appendix? We don't need 2 kidneys when we can get by on 1. I don't know. When the Christians get to the pearly gates, find out it was actually the hatchling, the fry, and the holy crap. Neuroscience have long said the human brain is the most complicated structure in the known universe. The rest of us isn't worth the stardust it's made of. Yeah, no, honestly, I don't think a human brain exists because of... Even though the human brain is super, 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 super complex, have you seen a brain with the eyeballs still there? Like, it's a squishy glob of goop, eyeballs, and tentacles hanging off of it. And if a deity made that on purpose, that deity does not deserve worship, okay? And complicated doesn't mean reliable. All right? If I have been designed in such a way that the goop up here, what kind of intelligent design puts goop in charge, for one thing? But the goop is dependent on receiving a certain amount of sunlight or else it wants to die. Come on. That's not great design. Yep. we are sentient goop piloting a bone mech. And none of that is giving intelligent design. Maybe design, just not intelligent design. The deity worked really hard on that, and their parents put it on the fridge at home. Can you imagine if this was the fridge at home? No, never trust the goop. Yeah, complicated doesn't mean functional. Anyone neurospicy or with trauma can be like, yeah, and just because it's complicated doesn't necessarily mean inherently good or smart. It just means complicated. I mean, you could technically put together a complicated system and it's stupid. You've designed it, but it could still be stupid on account of all of the extra redundant things you added to it. We have fridge at home. Piloting a bone mech makes it sound much more metal than it should. Kind of does. It's actually really anticlimactic considering the bone mech that we're piloting mostly just goes to the fridge and back multiple times a day, hoping there's new things in the fridge to snack on, but there isn't. We do not mean that's not what that means. No. Bold of us to assume we're the final result. We might be step 4 of 25 for intelligent design. Oh no, that means we're one of the alpha models. Exactly. What is it? The thing I tell myself too for a lot of things. My mom used to say it, and it's because I burnt myself out a couple times, and then my mom's words of wisdom came back to me, and she used to be like, "Keep it simple, stupid." I'm like, you're so right. You're so right. Let's see. Calcium's technically a metal, so bone mech is literally metal. Huh. Is calcium a metal? Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Now, I've been trying to remember that. Don't ever tell her she was right. Ah, my gosh. I know, right? There were a few things my mom said where I'm like, oh man. Oh man. But listen, I am one dead parent and a fortune away from being Batman. So, fortunately for me, I will never have to suffer the embarrassment of, yeah, you were right. However, when it comes to my parents were conspiracy theorists, so there's not a lot that I could admit to my parents they were right about. With my pastor parents, there's nothing that comes to mind that I could say they were right about. And yes, even a broken clock is right twice a day. It never says we're perfect, it just says he deems the creation good. Yeah, I actually don't even remember whether or not the Bible says anything about being designed perfectly. But I know according to Christian lore, our bodies are a mess because of sin, and that we used to be perfect, and that in heaven we'll be given perfect bodies. And like, is it just more of this but without back pain? Because if your perfect bodies do not include wings, talons, and cat ears, I'm not interested. Your definition of my definition of perfect body may not even remotely be the same thing. So if I'm not getting a cat girl skin out of this arrangement, you can keep salvation. Of course you are, Caspian. Of course you are. Where do I get that made in his... Oh yes, the whole made in his image thing. Yes. Tentacles. Tentacles could also go pretty hard as well. That's also a possibility. Hey, what time is it? Oof, it's gonna be supper time. I hadn't realized how big... I gave myself such a bad blister. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to do a little first aid on the back of my foot. Pretty sure I got stuff wrong with me before any serious sin. We're made in God's image, so who knew God had such a bad back and achy hips? What's for dinner? I actually don't know. I am not sure. I mean, we're molecules that think they know what they're doing. Okay. Well, who is online today? Who should I go bother? Who should we go harass? Hey! Kino's back. Serena's on. There's Snort McSlurps. Snort McSlurps is playing Deep Rock. Oh, cool. We've also got Cedar. Cedar's playing Raft. I know. Rock and Stone. Rock and Stone, everybody. That sounds like a good time. Rock and Stout. And let's see. Take care of yourselves. Yeah, definitely do that. Please do. We have a raid message. And also remember to hydrate, and your worth is not your productivity. All right. If you think that your worth is your productivity, we'll bonk it out of you. The bonks will continue until morale improves. And it looks like we got our raid set up. I'm gonna go into emote only mode. All right. Okay, everybody, take care, and I'll announce in the Discord server whether or not I'm streaming at the usual time on Friday. We'll see, or on a different time, not Friday, Monday, with Pinup. We will see, and have a great rest of your night, everybody. Mwah, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll talk to you later.